Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be showing you off a game, my E50M. This is one of my first few games in the E50M. I believe it's like my 9th or 10th game in this tank. And it is actually my mastery, and you'll see why later on, why it's my mastery. But this game, like, you see that Object 140 right there? Like, me and him go on to carry the living crap out of this game. Me and him just win this game for our team, straight up. And it's just, I was unexpecting to happen. I actually take up a very good effective position and actually win the game from there. Nothing really happens at the start of this game. It's sort of pretty boring actually. But I'm going to go to a typical sort of medium and light tank location right here. I like this spot because you can kind of like control the center of the map, and often enough controlling the center of the map sort of wins you the game. It's a very effective position. The only time it sort of becomes ineffective is if they have a lot of high tier arty. You can easily get, or you can get hit from arty in this spot pretty easily, because there's a few hard buildings, but often enough they're not really wide enough to cover you, so you kind of get shot. But what can you do? It's a nice spot, but you just have to be careful. And having Sixth Sense helps a lot in this spot. See, we're just sitting behind the bushes right now. I'm trying to get, probably not going to get some spots off because we're pretty much double bushed right now, so we're not really going to get an awful lot of spots. But as I say, this game's sort of boring at the start, so I'm not really going to talk about the game all that much because not an awful lot happens. But yeah, the E50M, I've actually really enjoyed this tank. I've only played like 30 or so battles in it, but I've had great fun. It's so good at like solo play. Like I don't platoon myself personally. I don't play tank companies either. I just play by myself. I like it that way because I don't know. I just don't have anyone to play, World of Tanks with, and I get asked to join clans all the time and stuff like that. But it doesn't appeal to me. I just don't have the time for that stuff. It's a lot of commitment. To say that you're gonna that you're gonna basically work for a clan really, and it's a lot of time, and I just can't give up on him at the time. I have no idea what that M48's doing right now. Absolutely no clue what he's doing. He's achieving nothing. But yeah, like as I was saying, this game's pretty boring at the start and not an awful lot happens. But I've been pretty busy for the last few days. I've been I had to repaint my room. My bedroom was really bad. It really needed a fresh lick of paint, and so I decided to do it. So my dad helped me with that there, and I also got a new computer desk, a much bigger one this time, so I can actually have more space to work. So we're just sort of working over that bat chat right now. This game's not really going well, as you can probably see. We've lost 4 tanks, 3 tier 9s, and they've only lost 1 tier 9, or 1 tier 10, sorry, the M48. Not really going particularly well. But as I said, I've just sort of been painting and decorating my room for the past few days. Kind of nice round into the 7.1's upper plate. Absolutely no problem with this gun. That's one thing you'll notice. You'll notice that I'm actually carrying absolutely no premium ammunition. And the reason for that is it's just not needed. It really isn't. There's no need to fire heat in this tank. With 270 average penetration on the APCR, there's just simply put no reason whatsoever to fire the heat. I would probably say the same for the Leopard 1 as well, because there's just really no reason to be firing heat in those tanks. It's not needed. You don't need it. So we actually get a weird little miss there on the waffle trigger of Panzer IV. I was kind of surprised that shot never killed him. It was definitely weird as all hell, but maybe it's just a bit of RNG. It happens. So I'm actually thinking about doing a series, a Fallout 3 series. One of my favourite YouTubers is actually doing a series for it at the minute. You might have heard of him. He's wow, Jesus, can't speak. Meatwagon22. I've just sort of been watching him for quite a few years actually, and I enjoy his videos. And part of the reason why I started my own YouTube was because of Meatwagon. He's a good YouTuber. He's sort of straight up guy, But yeah, so he's done a Fallout 3 series. He's done like a heavily modded series with sort of unique storylines, stuff like that. But I might do one myself, because I haven't had the pleasure to play Fallout 3. I did play it a good few years ago when it came out on the Xbox 360. But like most Fallout games, they're pretty buggy. And what actually happened for me was pretty much like I started a playthrough and got about 3 hours in or so, and there was a mission, a main mission in fact, that I had to do, but I actually couldn't do it because it had bugged out and I couldn't do it. And I tried everything, you know. I really didn't want to restart a playthrough, so I just gave up on the game. So I'll probably be doing it on PC though, so I'm gonna add some mods in, but I won't be adding like too many mods in, because the more mods you add, sometimes the more unstable the game can become. You see, we're just sort of working over that tortoise there. It's got a side to us, and I think that shot actually went in the 1390. But you can probably see it is not, like, let's be honest here, we only have 5 tanks left, and they're not really the best players. So, you know, it's kind of like a pretty crap situation right now. So I'm burping again, and so, well, this game, I was kind of thinking at the time, right, how can I win this game, you know? How can I seriously win this game? And that's what you should always sort of be thinking, well, at least in my opinion anyway, how can you win the game? And the reason why, you probably noticed, is I come up to this position, and it's a fairly aggressive position to come to. You shouldn't really, I wouldn't realistically come here normally, but those guys are kind of condensed in that corner, and that's a good thing for me, because that means I don't have to worry about my sides and also my rear, because it's all clear. So you can see the 704s up to the west there, but that Yag Tiger and 140 should be able to easily handle him, you know. But you know, as I say, they're not the best players, but you know, they should still be able to handle that. They're in tier 9 and tier 10 tanks. But as I say, this position, I wouldn't recommend normally come to this position because it's way too open. And I'm heavily relying simply on that ridge line, that little small ditch that I'm in right now. So we take out the 1390. A little bit of advice for you guys. You see, we could have actually took a shot on the E100 there as well. But the reason I take the shot on the 1390 is pretty simply to take out tanks from the fight. And the same, we have a similar situation when we take out the tortoise as well. We could have easily penned that E100's little sort of bino sight, what the hell am I even on about? Well, there's kind of like a wee little, there's some optics along the top ridge of the E100, and it's very easily penned by most tier 9, some tier 8s as well. It's pretty easy to hit, especially with this gun. This gun's, well, it's one of the most accurate guns of the game, isn't it? So the M103 gets spotted there, and he's in a pretty decent spot, but we can still hit his cupola. As I say, I was just speaking about the accuracy of this gun. It's fantastic. And see, this game's starting to turn around right now, because they're still pretty high health, but we have got them condensed into a corner. There's no getting out of there. So I try and hit that little, oh god, wow, he just got absolutely wrecked by the E100 and the Yag Tiger by the looks of things. So I see it is in a pretty crappy state right now. At this stage I'm thinking, wow, I'm going to have to do an absolute new one to pull this off. And then I actually quickly realised, do you know what? I can actually use that Centurion wreck. I can use his wreck to win this game. And you see I've got a little bit of ridgeline in front of me there. This is an amazing position. This is what I like to call power play position. It's a position where you can reliably get cover, but you can also poke up pretty well to take shots on them. Pretty unlucky there. The shot goes a little bit lower than what I was expecting. And see the bat shot is now to our left, and that immediately caught my attention. I need to kill that guy, you know. He's a big threat. So we actually blow off his tracks, but our 140 actually kills him. And 103's pulling back now, and we still have to deal with Yag Tiger and E100, and they're both full health as well. So really, the 140's gone down to the south there, and that's kind of the best spot. And see, look at this E100 and Yag Tiger. They are now pushing me, but I'm in this spot. This is a really good spot, and we're going to easily pen that shot in the side of the Yag Tiger. Low roll, but I mean, what can you do? At least a pen, that's the most thing. And we're just going to shoot for his upper plate, because it's I believe it's 150 angled, so it's a Tiger 2 hull. And he actually shoots us there, and we shoot him, and we get a low roll again. The C100's coming right here, and I notice him. I need to kill the Shag Tiger before I can poke around the corner. I poke around the corner. I'm now using the Centurion Wreck. I'm angling my armor. You see how I turn the armor in when he goes to shoot? I put for his side shot. He's on a long reload, not E100 gun, so I'm going to take out this YM103 here, and I just shoot his cupola right on. Now I'm angling in again, all about the angle in the E50M and the E50. Put a round right through his side armor. Absolutely no problem with this gun. See how I'm angling? My ISC is working him over as well. Angling again. And he actually pens us there. I believe he pens us right for the tracks. And game over, guys. That is, see that precisely right there? That is a prime example of, most people would go, oh my god, those guys are tomatoes, those guys are tomatoes. But you know what? It doesn't matter what what their rank is or what their freaking efficiency is. Efficiency is such a dead statistic anyway. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's dead as all hell. Efficiency should never be used as a reliable statistic because it takes way too many things that aren't important into consideration, like captured points. It takes capture points into a lot of consideration in efficiency. So efficiency should really be taken with a pinch of salt. I'm probably going to eventually move to 1.8 on my XVM. And the reason for that is pretty simple. It's much more reliable. It takes average damage much more into consideration. And I believe that's more important stat than anything else. Damage is the key to victory, really. And the more damage you do, the more chance you have to win. It's simple as. That 140 and that IS-8 did exactly what they needed to do. We all worked together and we won the game. It doesn't matter, what Big Wild or Tomatoes, who gives a crap. They still freaking did fantastic and they won the game and we win as a result. And let's take a look at the report screen. So we take home a nice amount of credits, 100,000 credits from that game. That's quite decent. 4,500 experience, obviously a double. We took home our mastery, which is amazing because this was literally one of my very first few games in E50M. We take home, see all those blind shots might have actually went in. We take home like 6.3k damage there and 5 kills with 1,300 base experience. See the Object 140 does quite well as well. With 5.6k and the IS-8 also with 2.7k. We say we take home actual 40,000 credits, some consumable costs there, and majority of ammo costs. And also there was actually a little bonus there as well, so you have to take that into consideration because that was on the weekend special. So yeah, guys, it was a pretty overall great game in the E50M, and it really allowed me to actually understand the tank a bit more and what its role is. So let me know if you're looking forward to the Fallout series and if that's even something you're interested in. Thanks for watching. Bye.